Hello and welcome to the Cackling Jackal. I'm Leon, we've got James and Kyle, and you're tuning in for another Jackal Talk. Basically, Jackal Talk is where the three of us sit around having a drink.
Talk.
The first Jackal Talk.
Yeah, they're tuning in for another.
Oh, that's right. The
Jackal
first
Talk.
one didn't get aired. That's okay. This is the first official Jackal Talk, where we basically sit around and we just talk about stuff that we like, stuff that's coming up, stuff we find interesting, and hopefully you guys will too.
Definitely.
So probably the most exciting thing at the moment is Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes.
Yeah, have you heard of a guy called Mordenkainen?
I've heard a little bit about him.
Yeah.
I hear he has an interesting faithful hound and
Yeah.
a magnificent mansion.
Yeah, so those of you who are familiar with D&D will probably be familiar with Mordenkainen in some aspect, especially if you're a spellcaster, because if you look through those spells in the PHB, you will see a couple of references to his name. This guy is incredibly smart, he's incredibly cool, and he's bringing a book to us this year. When is it? When
May.
Is it? May.
Yeah.
May.
It's early May. I think it's like
20
May 6th
I
or
think it's
something.
May 20... I don't know, something.
So we'll get back to you
May.
with an accurate date at some point.
There may be a subtitle that just says, these idiots are wrong. It is.
It's exactly what it was saying.
Yeah.
But yes, so the first book of 2018 has been announced,
Yep.
Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. The way I heard it described, it's sort of like a Volo's Guide to Monsters, but
Yeah.
where Mordenkainen differs from Volo's is Volo is very much into the culture and discovering how these monsters exist in their natural states.
Yep. And he's very focused on the Primaterial plane.
Yes.
And on the region of the Sword Coast in particular.
Yep.
Mordekainen, on the other hand, is a lot more otherworldly. He looks to different races that some of which we've seen in D&D 5e already. So we've got races like the Duergar,
Yep.
and to some extent we've seen races like the Githyanki and the Githzeri.
Yep.
But hopefully they'll all be playable races when Mordekainen's comes around.
It sounds like it from what I've heard.
Yeah. He focuses a lot on the warring between
Yes.
several different factions of these
Yeah.
similar races. So you've got the Duergar versus the Dwarves.
Yep.
You've got the Githyanki versus the Githzeri. Githzerai? Githzeri? I think it's Githzerai.
And the Mind
The
Flayers
elves
are in there
versus
somewhere.
the drow.
Mind Flayers, Drow, and Elves. There's all that sort of thing that encompasses that, which
This-
I think is going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, this book kind of goes into the history of even the normal player races too, doesn't it? Kind of with those wars and everything else. It's kind of a bit of an understanding of where the dwarves and the elves kind of came from and how they came from, well, elves from the Feywild and everything else, isn't it? That was my
I hope so.
understanding.
I
Well,
hope
that's
that's
what
what
I've
they're
heard.
doing. We don't know a whole lot about it.
No, it was only announced like within the last couple of days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've seen that they are going to reveal more on D&D's Twitch channel.
Well, I did watch actually earlier today. I watched something on D&D Beyond, and there's actually an interview with
Mike Mills.
Mike Mills. That's it.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how a whole heap of different things are going with. But one of them was they're actually going to create a lot more higher CR rating creatures. So
Awesome.
where most of the stuff in the in the Monster Manual and even in Volo's typically is CR 10 or below, because that's where most players and most campaigns get to. These ones here focus on some that are a bit higher than that. Now, I don't think they've gone into a whole lot of like celestials or gods as such, but they've definitely gone a lot more into demons and devils. And they also explain how the wars that go on between such and their political structures and bits and pieces like that. So it'd be really cool to get actual stats and a bit more like, solid information on how that stuff works if you want to include that in your campaign.
Yeah. So I think he was saying something like about 50% or more of the content is going to be CR10 or higher.
Yeah.
A lot of the monsters in there. So it'll be interesting, especially since he didn't exactly say it in the video, but he made reference to the fact that we are probably getting towards the apex, going towards the end of 5th edition.
Yeah.
Really?
I did get that. It kind of got that
You
vibe
got that
too. When
vibe.
I was watching it, you could see he was kind of talking like progressing through the chapters, and it feels like you're kind of getting. I feel like once it gets to about the CR10 and a bit higher, you're starting to get to the creatures that a level 10 to 20 crack players would encounter. Once you're going to get to that point, do you reckon they'll do like an epic tier where they'll do something beyond 20th? Do you reckon they'll release an official thing with that, or not really?
They probably will.
Yeah,
They probably will. They have in the past
Yeah.
with various editions beforehand, and to be honest, it'll make money if they do. It'll make a lot of money.
It kind of makes sense. It's kind of like their capstone on that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That thing before, if they're going to start anything new, I feel like they're going to finish this one off completely.
And the existing rules, there are existing rules for beyond the 20th level.
Yes.
They're kind of meh.
Yeah, I know. They're very blasé.
They're very okay. Yeah, you get a boon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's very haphazardly put together for those few people who do have epic level content in their campaigns. But I mean, when they came out, most people were, fifth edition was relatively new.
We've all played a fair amount of D&D.
Yeah.
We've all played at least a fair amount of D&D. How have any of you ever had a level 15 character?
Nope. I think the highest character I've had, level 8, in terms of actually going from pretty much level 1.
Yeah.
I think we started through all the way up. In terms of that, I've played a couple of one-shots with level 12 or 15. That's like, if that's at most.
Okay, have you ever, even in a one-shot, ever played a level 20th character?
No.
20th level character?
That would be actually very fun to do, but
It would be interesting to do.
you're right. Very few people
But
get to that point.
I've never even considered going, hey, here's a 20th level character, jump into this game.
I guess the problem with that is, when you get to 20th level, there's so many things your character can do that unless you've actually played through and learnt every ability and stat and stuff, it's just too much. You would not play your 20th level character to its potential, or anyway, probably not half as good as its potential, unless either one, you had a really, really good fundamental understanding of your character, or two, you physically learnt what everything does, and as a new ability gets applied, you learn how that incorporates with other abilities and bits and pieces.
Yeah. But what makes me excited for Mordenkainen is this whole level fact, and the fact that these monsters are going to be high level, because Volos was really good at adding variety for low levels.
Yeah,
it was really good. There were a number of monsters that were CR5-ish, that were really a bit more interesting than what is in the book, which is great. But I am also very keen to see what is available to those higher levels.
Yeah, definitely.
At the moment, we only have, maybe 3 monsters who are above CR, 25-ish?
Yeah.
Around that, right? Because you've got the Tarask, obviously, which is 30 off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think that's the highest one.
It is.
It
might be 32 or something.
Do you reckon this new book will have something higher than the Tarask?
I don't know whether it has something higher than Tarask, but
Or at least
I'm
equal with.
interesting to see what else it can add above CR20.
Yeah.
Because, as far as CR20 is concerned, in the Monster Manual, we really only have some of those legendary, amazing monsters like the Tarask.
Yep.
Or we have monsters that are the ancient dragons. Other than that, we don't have a lot of variety.
Yeah, fair point.
So I am interested to see what about for players? What do you guys see being added for players? Other than obviously the races like Githyanki, Githzerai, Duergar, etc.
Well, that's where I think the
We already
history
have
comes
Duergar,
into
actually,
it, though.
We have Duergar, yeah.
Duergar
Is
already.
Duergar an act? No, it's not in the player's handbook, is it?
No.
No,
I think it's in the Sword Coast.
Sword Coast?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the main thing for players will be it's kind of partly players and dungeon masters, in the sense that you kind of get a bit of a more understanding of the history of your character and the dwarves, so kind of that kind of stuff.
I'm talking about mechanics though. Mechanics specifically. What do you think is going to be new? Other than we'll probably get backgrounds.
I'm hoping that we will get a series of new weapons or armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
From some of these new races, especially the Githyanki and the Githzerai.
Yep.
They are interplanar, or inter transdimensional, or whatever you want to call them. So I'm hoping maybe we get something from them. Maybe even some stuff from the Drow, because that was one thing that Mike Mell specifically mentioned in the video on D&D Beyond, is that they did want to highlight the war between the rest of the elves and the Drow, because that's an interesting story that we've heard snippets of.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually.
Yeah, there's no 5th edition legend/lore.
Do we think we'll get more on planar travel?
Oh, 100%. I reckon it almost has to, because I feel like that's what the book's talking about.
More spells?
I doubt it. After Xanathar's release, I feel like they're going to hold off on it for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Maybe later on in the year.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to take a break. We kind of had it with Xanathar's, but I'm excited to take a break from adventure books.
Yeah.
Because we had 3 last year.
Yeah, look.
They'll bring out another one shortly after this, I imagine.
Yeah,
I imagine it won't be long before they'd be like, okay, well, if we look at Adventurers League.
Yeah, that's a good way to judge it.
The Adventurers League season is about halfway through at this point. Maybe a little bit more than halfway through. And usually those seasons coincide with the release of a new adventure book.
Yeah.
So I think we can expect it maybe probably not around the same time, but shortly after.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm excited. As a tool for Dungeon Masters, having more monsters is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It helps us to stop relying on, as good as it is, things like Reddit's Monster a Day thing.
Yeah.
They are made by community people. They are made by community members. They're not exactly balanced a lot of the time. So it'd be interesting to have another resource that we can just say, I just need something for this encounter. Okay.
And I think we can almost 100% say that we won't see the Artificer. We won't see the Mystic.
Nah.
I think if those were in it, they would have been announced. They would have been front and center, and they would have been, hey, 2 new classes.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I think that it's possible that they may whip them out at some point, and very possibly for this book. I feel like they may have a delayed announcement on that one there. I feel like as we get closer...
You think they'd wait and then reveal it?
Yep.
Or closer to the date to make it more of a...
We don't technically have an actual official release now. At the moment. As far as I'm aware, they were talked about it on a stream.
I think I've seen a date that it's getting launched on Fantasy Grounds.
Okay, well
there's definitely pre-order on D&D Beyond.
No, actually, I believe I can see it now. I think I saw that it's releasing on the 21st of May, but it's going to be available earlier in May with the special edition cover, just like Xanathar's did in game stores.
Cool. Okay.
Which I've looked at the special edition cover.
Yeah, I know. Xanathar's one was really cool.
I don't know if it's the fact that cover is particularly bad, but I like the normal edition cover. The normal edition cover with the circles and with all the weird planar stuff going on. I like it.
From my perspective, though, my question is it worth getting the shittier or the not as great cover art for an earlier release?
For 2 weeks earlier. I think it's 2 weeks.
Yeah. See, from my perspective, I think that would be worth it. I'm more interested in the content between the covers than what's on the covers. What's on the covers does make a big difference. But that 2 weeks would be, I think, very valuable.
Fair enough.
I think we definitely want at least one copy here for at least us to have a look at.
There will definitely be at least one copy.
Yes,
there will probably be 3 copies. Let's
be honest. Let's just get copies of both the special edition and the normal edition each.
We could do that.
We'll get 6 copies of the book. Just have one for backup in case I spill alcohol on it or something.
Which could very much happen. But if you're interested in funding that project, so no, look, it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I do think we may see the Artificer. I'm not sure about the Mystic. We'll see closer to the date, I guess.
We will.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have you guys been up to lately? What have you been playing? What games? What have you been watching? What's going on in the lives of...
Well, what do we want to start with? Do you want to start with games or watching?
Let's go games. There you go.
Games.
You guys are games boys.
Okay. Monster Hunter World. Absolutely.
Yes.
I haven't been sinking as much time into it as I probably would like because life.
Yep.
But what little I have been playing of it, it's so much fun. Like it's really just a fun game just to sit there and play.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This one kind of slipped under my radar. Mostly because I play exclusively PC games.
Yeah.
And Monster Hunter is getting released it is released on PS4 and Xbox. Yeah. And in about, I don't know if we actually saw a date, but in about half a year to a year, it's going to come out on PC.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I've been watching you play it. I've been looking at things. I want to make a gorgeous little cat person.
Palico.
Yeah, they look adorable. I could probably just spend hours and hours in the creator with that.
It's very much a you thing.
Yeah, I could. I'm the type of guy who would spend hours in The Sims, right? It's creating my characters, building my house, and then I'd play for 20 minutes and just quit the game.
Yeah.
And then...
So you're the person I yell at when we're playing Halo 4 and you're customizing your Spartan. I just want to play a goddamn fucking game. I'm talking to you, Chad.
Yeah, I'm that type of person. Yeah. But I want it. I want it so bad. And it looks so much fun and it looks beautiful. And
I have a very simple solution for you.
No, I'm not going to like it. My wallet won't like it.
Your wallet will love it because you will love it, and your wallet wants what's best for you. Go out, buy an Xbox One, and just play it.
It is a simple solution.
You see, but if I was to buy either console at this point, I'd probably buy the PS4.
You know, we can't. Now we have to cut that.
No, we don't.
We
we do not have to cut that.
It comes down to a simple fact. Spider-Man is getting released later this year on PS4 only.
So is God of War.
And but Spider-Man.
Alright, we are not having this conversation because we will actually literally be talking about nothing about crap for 45 minutes. So,
Alright.
Wow. Okay, whatever.
We're not talking about Xbox for 45 minutes, man. It's
We've
okay.
had a whole conversation.
But no, look, it's a really great game. I'm enjoying what little time, and that's actually something big for me to say because I hate button mashes.
Yeah.
I hate games where you have to press different buttons to gain combos, and that's how the combat is done.
You didn't like Tony Hawk as a kid?
No, hated it. Hate all that stuff. It's okay with Monster Hunter because it's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
You're fighting some freaking amazing monsters.
Yeah.
And the weapons, they take a bit of getting used to, but they're fun. But honestly, the best time I'm having is jumping into a game with my friend and just doing a hunt.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 20 minutes, half an hour that I could spare. And it's just like, let's go hunt this thing that's being a pest.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Question number 1. What weapon are you using, mostly?
I'm switching. I started out with the Kinsect Blade, which is like a glaive weapon where you have a little bug and the bug goes and does things. I really like that just because you're a really fast moving character and you have a vertical movement, which no other weapon, so for your perspective, there's about 16 different weapons in the game that you can, types of weapons. This one's the only one that offers you a vertical movement, which is really fun for escaping monsters.
Yeah, cool.
Also, I believe anytime you hit it from the top, you have a chance of mounting the enemy.
That's true. It's a lot easier to mount them where you can just get on there and just stab the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But for the last 2 hunts that I've done, I've moved to twin blades. Just
Okay, that sounds very Kyle.
I'm a lot more fast. I'm a lot faster.
A lot more fast.
Shut up. I can essentially go into a barbarian rage or something similar. Just increases my damage output.
Cool.
And it's just really funny to see somebody running like this.
Oh, Naruto days.
Yeah.
I think you'd actually really like this game.
I probably would. I just don't have a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One at the moment.
Yeah.
Still on PlayStation 3, to be honest, because I don't play games very often.
We'll get you to do a... Oh, fuck. I just said we'll get you, like...
I know.
You did.
I know.
That's okay.
I was
Keep
going to
going.
see how you saved it, and you didn't.
No, I did say it. We'll get you to do a hunt on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
See how you
definitely.
go.
I'd love to do Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Watch me fail abysmally, that's fine.
So you're not you don't have much time to play games.
Don't have much time for anything. Pretty much the last time I've played like console games or PC games, whenever I go to people's houses and they're like, you want to play this? I'm like, yeah, sure. But to be honest, the last game I actually sunk any decent hours into would have been Skyrim when it first got released.
I remember when Skyrim first got released.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
It was a good
I
time.
remember I was waiting for 11/11/11. The
Yeah.
whole year I was like 11/11/11. Yes, let's do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Oh.
I am considering getting a PlayStation 4 just to play God of War because
Yeah.
I am so excited for this game. I've pretty much, before I got too busy to play games, God of War 1 and God of War 2, not really God of War 3, but the first two I played, that game I played for months.
Which
mate.
was the one that we just watched the trailer for? The most
Yes.
recent.
That's the
did
most
watch the
recent
trailer.
one.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Is that God of War 4?
They haven't actually released a number for it. I don't know.
it
It's
is
just
God of War
called...
4. Well, maybe it's not.
I don't know. I didn't see a number.
But everyone's calling it God of War 4.
Basically. So yeah, the first one's where he basically ascends to try and fight and kill Ares. The second one's when the gods...
For those of you who don't know, God of War is about a guy named Kratos who basically ascends to godhood. And he does that by killing a whole bunch of Greek gods.
The probably the coolest thing about that game, and something I've loved the whole way through, is one, I've always loved Greek mythology. I love the stories, I love the legends and everything else. And this is kind of like an interactive way of discovering and learning about those legends. There's probably one of the first games, at least that I played, to really do great cutscenes that were interactive. Like, you know, when we see cinematic scenes of somebody fighting something, you're like, oh, that's really cool. But halfway through, it's like the, what do they call it? The Telltale Adventures, where you're watching something and says, oh,
You're talking about
press
QTEs,
X.
quick time events.
Yeah, quick time events. And you got to do bits and pieces. And at least that was one of the first games I'd ever played that had that kind of cinematic moments where you got to interact with it, and your decisions or how quick you were pressing buttons affected whether or not you succeeded and stuff. And I don't know, to me that was awesome. And the fact that the one moment of that game that really stuck with me, and actually I think I saw it in a trailer even, and it was what made me want to play the game more than anything, was at the start of the game, maybe not about the start, but somewhere in the first game, you fight Medusa. And Medusa's an iconic enemy. Everyone's seen Medusa, this, that, and the other. But it's this really cool battle, you're fighting and doing that, and the last scene, you physically rip her head off. And it's like, cool. But for the rest of the game, you get to use that head as a weapon. You can literally hold it out and turn enemies to stone. And it's just, I love that you got to use enemies that you fought. You got to take bits and pieces from it. Or when you fought different stuff, that's why I'm losing track of thought on this one. But the fact that you actually got to, one, experience the Greek mythology legends, and two, take some of that with you throughout the rest of your adventure, I thought it was amazing. That's really that kind of what got me first into gaming. God of War 4 basically has come from the other side of that, where Kratos has a child, and the mother's, looks like from what I can see in the trailer, the mother's just passed away, and both Kratos and the son obviously got godlike DNA, or I don't know how you describe it. They're not just of the material plane. And it's kind of their journey. I don't know if they're trying to kill a god or what they're trying to do. If they're trying to save his son. I'm not exactly sure where it's going, but it looks very cool.
It looks very cool. I've actually seen a little bit of gameplay from
really?
Online, and it looks pretty epic.
It's a little bit of a button musher like you're talking about. However, in saying that, I found that when I started playing, I was just pressing whatever, but very quickly you learn the combos, because the combos are much better than just button mashing. Like, it really makes a big difference. Unlike when I was joking about Tony Hawk, where you could literally press anything, and sure, you could try and do combos, but whether you did combos or you just button mashed, it really didn't make much of a difference.
Yeah.
This one here, it definitely made a difference if you actually knew what combinations you were doing.
Awesome.
I'm sure it does in Monster Hunter as well. I just don't.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, Leon, you mentioned Telltale there briefly. Guess what I just saw that was on sale on Steam?
What?
All of the Telltale games were on sale on Steam. Yeah, a bunch of them. I don't know if it was like literally all of them, but it was a lot of them. And I decided I'd splurge out and buy the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale
I've got that
game.
one. It is actually really cool. I've only played the first 2 chapters, but is there any more released? I don't know.
So, as far as I know, I think all of it's
Oh,
released.
wow. Well, I haven't played it in a while, as you know. I haven't had a lot of time for
yeah,
games.
so I'm really keen to start playing that. I think I might even record that.
Yeah.
Get it down.
I think you have to
Well,
now.
Yeah, now that I've mentioned it.
I know. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy was the first Telltale game I ever played, and I didn't even know anything about it. I was just on Steam one day because, I don't know, I was just cruising through and I saw it. I'm like, oh, cool. And it was on sale at the time. Can't remember how much it was. Pretty cheap. Bought it. And then it was literally the first Telltale game I'd ever played. So I was like literally just sitting there watching it, thinking it was like partly a movie. And next thing it says, press X. I'm like, oh shit, where's the keyboard? Go up and grab it. And then, it was cool how you get to make decisions in the game. And then at the end of the chapter, I know you guys probably all know this, but then they actually rank who decided on what. And the next chapter is based off those decisions. That's kind of a little bit like Adventure League, I guess, in the sense where...
Kind of.
Well, actually, no. I think I'm thinking more of Pathfinder. Pathfinder, they actually log it afterwards. And I briefly played Pathfinder before I started playing Adventure League. And they run a whole heap of different sessions, and where they basically record the results of every session. And if the majority of people killed a certain player, in the future, they're classified that player is dead. Or if multiple players saved a certain player, that player is considered alive. I think it's really cool how Telltale's got that whole general thing, and you can kind of see how your decisions went against everyone else's decisions. And I don't know about you guys, but I found most of my decisions were matching with what the general public was, except for like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, there's always one that you look at and it's like, really?
Yeah. Right.
Really?
What is wrong with people?
Why did people chose that?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you tried any of the other Telltale games?
No, but I've heard...
Because they do have a Game of Thrones one.
Oh.
They've got a Game of Thrones one.
I played it.
Apparently it's...
It's alright. It tells a different story than Game of Thrones does. Like, it tells the story of a family that you basically don't hear about in the Game of Thrones universe. And it has some effects, like you have some interactions with certain characters who are in the main show, main book series, and everything else at this point. But it's not great. It's not crap.
Is this okay?
It's as much fun as you enjoy. Like,
yeah, okay. I have heard a lot of reports that the Telltale games are only... the original Telltale games are a lot better than the more recent ones.
Well, the one I was told when I was telling one of my mates about me playing the Guardians of the Galaxy one.
Yeah.
And he came to me, I think it was Ben or something like this. There's one called, is it Bad Wolf or something Wolf?
The Wolf Among Us.
The Wolf Among Us,
Yes.
maybe? Something like that. And
That's the fairy tale one. That's
Yeah.
it's really cool.
I've heard that one is actually meant to be one. Or
It
he
is
was
very
saying it was one of his favourites at least.
But I feel like that the original Walking Dead one,
Okay.
right, was probably it's the best one that I've played. I haven't played all of them, but I don't know. I think The Walking Dead is such a good setting for that type of tale because you have so many controversial decisions to make. Right?
Yeah, good point.
I feel like with things like Guardians of the Galaxy and to a lesser extent, maybe Game of Thrones or Tales from the Borderlands or things like that, that same sort of contention isn't there. That tension isn't there because the decisions aren't, hey, this character that I've gone to know for 3 chapters is suddenly in danger.
Yeah.
How am I going to try and save them or kill them or what?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, fair enough. No, I see there's a lot more tension in Walking Dead in that sense.
That being said, I hear, in general, they're good games.
Yeah, it was thoroughly enjoyable. I don't feel like I wasted the money that I spent on them. And one of my favourite games is episodic like that, which is Life is Strange, and that's it's not by Telltale, but it's very much that episodic content where you have your decisions, and it's probably one of the best games I've ever played.
Played that recently?
I played a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Awesome.
Right, so we want to talk about games, movies.
James,
the
are
next
you
one.
playing anything at the moment?
Oh, true.
Anything at the moment. I'm playing a lot of early access games at the moment. I've managed to find that area of Steam. I'm kind of just living there for a little bit. There are a few of them are on the channel. There's Northgard, there's They Are Billions. Very soon I'm hoping to get out some content on a game called Slay the Spire.
What's that about?
It's kind of a deck builder sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Takes some elements from deck building card games.
Yep.
And definitely throws them in. It's really cool. I've had a couple of issues recording that, but I think I've sorted most of them out.
Okay.
So I should get some of that up on the channel soon. Other than that, I've been playing board games because I have recently acquired some new things. And
Yes.
I love new things.
Board games in particular.
Yeah. Money disappears when I go to the game shop.
Which is every week. I can confirm.
Yes, it is.
I agree with everything.
It's not an addiction, I promise. Anyway, no, I've recently picked up a game called Weave.
Yes.
I did an unboxing on the channel. It's really, really cool.
It does look awesome.
I have not played it yet, but I'm hoping to remedy that tonight.
Yep.
It
keen.
is a really cool sort of role-playing story game involving tarot cards and your phone, and it just seems like it's really streamlined and really fun. Other than that, I've recently picked up the Fallout board game. So you guys are both familiar with Fallout, as in
yes, but
the
very,
Bethesda
very
games.
basically.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. So nuclear apocalypse.
Yep.
Everything's gone to crap.
You can buy things with bottle caps.
You can buy things with bottle caps. The normal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is no different. The Fallout board game is amazing.
Yeah.
And for me, it encapsulates everything about the video games.
Yep.
Including the stuff in the video games that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yep.
It kind of manages to fit that in, make it work. You've got rads, you've got health, you've got XP, you level up, you do all these things. The special stats are there. It's awesome. And
cool.
It's very story-based.
Yep.
So the whole idea is you've got this... either of you guys played any of the Legacy games?
No.
Pandemic Legacy, Risk Legacy?
Yes, I've played Pandemic Legacy.
Yes. So you know how that has a big deck of cards that you go through and you complete and you do all
Yeah,
those
and you open certain things when you do certain things, and if you lose, it's easier. If you win, it's a bit harder.
Yeah. Exactly. Same sort of thing, except not carrying over from game to game. So you've got this big deck of cards, which are numbered 001 all the way to
999.
probably not quite 999. I think it goes to around 200.
Okay.
So you've got this deck of maybe not quite
many
200
things.
cards. Yeah. And basically, at the beginning of the game, you choose a scenario.
Yeah.
And it tells you, hey, get out card 054. Right?
Okay.
So you get out 054, and it's basically like, hey, look, here's your first quest.
Cool.
Right? You start playing, you move around, you're exploring tiles, you're trying to keep your rads down and keep your health high.
Yep.
You're trying to collect items, collect gear. Often, you don't start with a weapon, which is pretty important to have. And allows you to do re-rolls and that sort of thing. It uses these little black dice with green things on them, which represent VATs. If you played the Fallout
Yeah.
games, you'll be familiar with those. And then eventually, when you complete a quest, that quest will usually have a couple of ways to complete it. So it might say, hey, either do this or do this.
Yeah.
So go to this location and do this action. If you succeed, then you can basically go through the deck again and pull out different cards based on what that quest said, which progress the story.
Yes.
And it starts a branching story, so you end up with sort of the main quest and side quests as well, and all sort of thing.
For the record, we need to play this soon.
Yeah,
I'm very excited now.
Yeah, I need to get it to you. It's a lot of fun. It's relatively simple while still having quite a lot of depth in it.
Yep.
It's great.
Cool.
I
You've sold me. I'm very keen.
Yeah.
I saw you when you were opening it out the other day, and the actual game pieces themselves are awesome. Like the special, what's that called?
The little character, I don't know exactly.
Is there a name for it?
The player board thing.
Yeah, I guess. But that was awesome. I was looking at it, I'm like, that's actually really cool. I like the detail they put into it. That, to me, because I'm a very artsy person, that means a lot to me. That kind of shows
it's
that
definitely not cheap.
No.
Which, I mean, none of the Fantasy Flight games really ever are, if you're familiar with them as a company.
Yes.
And they've been doing more and more board games. They're the ones that did the XCOM board game as well.
Yep, nice.
They've done a number of others that aren't coming to mind right now. But yeah, it's great. It looks good. It plays really well.
Yeah.
I can't wait for an expansion already.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, have you heard anything about expansions?
I have not heard anything. There might be news out there. I don't know. But knowing how this game sort of is set up, it's easy to add more cards to the deck. It's easy to add more tiles to go into the game. They'll be coming.
Yeah.
They'll be coming.
Talked about what we're playing. What are we watching? Are you
We're
watching
talking-
anything? Have you watched anything recently?
Well-
Apart from the content on the channel, of course.
Of course. Most recently, and I'm probably a little late to this one, but I've been watching Black Mirror, and I love it. Have you guys? Either of you guys watched
That's the
anything?
one where it's like a commentary on technology and social.
Yes. I first heard about this probably a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. I think at the time only 2 seasons were out. And I watched one episode and thought, oh yeah, it's not bad. I didn't really get into it. It was only like a couple of weeks ago. I don't even know why. I think my girlfriend and I were just looking for something to watch. We thought, oh, let's watch Black Mirror. And we've got stuck right into it. It is very, very good. Have you either way watched it or not really?
I have not even touched it,
Okay.
to be honest.
I strongly suggest
I
it.
keep hearing it being talked about, and I'm keeping like, hey, I might like that. But I'm a busy man. And
We're each busy in our own ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
For me, whereas you, it's like, TV greater than games. For me, games greater than TV.
Fair enough. That's true.
Yeah. That being said, I have been watching some TV/Netflix.
Yeah.
I've been watching the new Star Trek series.
I've really been wanting to watch that. That's my other one on the list. I've heard it's so good.
Okay, I haven't actually seen that much Star Trek stuff. I've seen episodes of the old thing, of the old stuff. I've seen the movies. I've seen all that sort of thing.
All the movies?
I've seen 2 of the movies. Have I seen 2?
The most recent two?
No, the new movies. I'm talking about the new movies alone.
Yeah, fair enough.
The 2 most recent movies.
Okay. They're both good. I liked both of them.
Yeah, I thought they were alright.
Look,
but I actually really like this Netflix
Yeah.
thing, and I really like the format. And most of all, I really, really like Jason Isaacs as the captain of the Discovery. Michael, the main character, but I think Jason Isaacs really sells it for me. In fact, the episode I just watched, I am a little bit behind.
Yep.
But the episode I just watched, there was a pretty big plot twist, which I won't ruin because.
Okay, please don't. I am so excited to watch
As somebody
it.
who's never seen anything to do with Star Trek, how easy is it to jump into this Netflix series?
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I don't think you really need to know much other than, it's space and there's a federation and that's it. And,
which is pretty
and
much
we fight the Klingons and
Yeah.
See, I've heard those words individually, but I've never heard them together until
Yeah.
before now.
There
So
you go.
There we go.
You're all up to date.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much.
You can just dive right in. No, for the most part, it makes a lot of sense. If you've watched things like, Battlestar Galactica, Firefly,
Great series.
if you've watched any of those space
Stargate.
Stargate, yeah.
I love Stargate.
Those space political
You watched
things.
any of these?
No.
Oh,
And I haven't seen a red shirt die yet
what?
in the series.
Are you sure you're watching Star Trek?
I think I am.
Okay.
Maybe Netflix is pulling a fast one on me.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There's just going to be one episode where every red shirt in the universe dies at once.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Cool.
What
So
have
that's
you
what
been
we're
watching?
watching.
I recently went back and watched the first 2 seasons mostly for the first time, watched the Van Helsing series.
Okay.
Oh, is that good?
Remake. It's interesting. They've gone sort of like a Walking Dead route with the vampirism. It's like a curse that gets transmitted. It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn at the beginning, and then it gets a little odd, but it really ramps up.
Okay.
It's really fun. If you can get past maybe the first 4 or 5 episodes.
That was, to be honest, that was Game of Thrones to me. I had to get, I liked it from the start. Oh, this is not bad. But it literally took 4 or 5 episodes for me to get addicted into that show.
Yeah. See, that was
the opposite for me for Game of Thrones.
Really?
For Game of Thrones, I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes, then it just started losing my interest entirely.
I don't know how that works, but
Yeah.
sure, buddy. Whatever you say.
You're a weird one.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway. Yeah,
But
so
I've been recently watching as well a new series to Netflix, although you told me today it's actually not a Netflix original, but Black Lightning, which is it's a DC show. It's based on the DC comic book universe,
Yep.
and it's basically it's really cool. That's all I've got to say. It's kind of like,
So you like it?
I do like it. I am
Okay.
enjoying it. It's something that I definitely, because it's episodic, so a new episode comes out every week.
Yeah.
And I find myself checking Netflix to be like, oh, is that new one out?
Yeah, nice.
So-
It's good when you actually get excited about a show like
See,
that.
I've heard it's very middling. It's very...
It's about a reluctant superhero. It kind of reminds me of Luke Cage in a lot of ways, not just because it is about a African American man
Yeah.
in a poor socioeconomic area. And he is super strong. He also shoots lightning out of his hands and eyes, and I don't know if he can move super fast, but
Fair enough.
I don't think so.
Okay, so Black Lightning is in fact a CW show, right? Which, for those of you who watch the CW or know anything about it, they'll also know that they have a lot of DC shows at the moment, including Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow.
They have the greatest DC shows, which is
Exactly.
the Arrow.
Also, let's go back one step. What's CW for those?
The
who
CW
don't
is
know?
an American channel.
It's like
Okay.
HBO.
Yeah.
I now know what you're talking about.
There you go.
Thank you.
Australia.
Yes.
But CW is really, stepping back to that, CW is really good for a lot of that geek and also sci-fi sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have shows like Supernatural, that sort of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think their reasoning for not putting Black Lightning in the Arrowverse is?
I feel like because they've already got so much going on in the Arrowverse,
That's
and
true.
also because I think I didn't go too much into it because life. But I think I read that 2 of the Arrowverse shows were being cancelled.
Really?
There's rumours. There's rumours that some of them might be cancelled. I think I told you this actually.
I also saw it on Facebook as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's got to be legit on Facebook.
It's got to be it's on Facebook.
But
Facebook's
yeah,
better
there's
than
rumours
Google.
that 2 of them are going to end.
Yeah. Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl.
You reckon it's going to be those guys?
I-
I reckon the Flash is up.
You reckon the Flash is up?
Maybe. And I mean, they've been talking about for a while Arrow.
I can see that. Arrow's been going on for 6 seasons now. We're
Yeah.
halfway through season 6. I don't want it to end.
I know.
love Stephen Amell. I love all the characters.
Okay, but here's the thing. Do you think we've seen pretty much all we can from Oliver Queen?
Possibly.
Okay. Do you think if we remove Oliver Queen, the show dies?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
Not
Okay,
necessarily.
Interesting.
Because in the comics, Oliver Queen dies, doesn't he?
Oliver Queen does
And
die,
somebody
yes.
takes over as the Green Arrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, could easily happen. I can see it happening. But I can also see a lot of people not watching if Stephen Amell's not there anymore.
I can see that. I think the way that they get around that is by bringing Colton Haynes back, who plays Roy.
Who plays Roy, otherwise known as Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's pretty... Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. But, I don't know. Arrow might be done.
I hope not.
I can see him hanging up the green car. The green hood.
Fair enough.
And
As long as he doesn't hang it up to then continue to make those horrible Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies.
Well,
hey, he was the best part of the latest
He
one.
was the best part of the latest one. In a very bad movie.
Yeah. It's not hard to be the best part of a shitty movie.
That's true. Look at this one. So before this video started, we watched a couple of trailers of some movies that
We did.
Yeah.
So the Super Bowl was quite recently.
Yes, it was.
And as everyone, I don't care about the Super Bowl.
I don't mind it normally. I
except-
just don't get time to watch it.
Okay. I don't care at all about the Super Bowl.
Fair enough.
Except about the trailers that come out.
Yes.
Because some of those are amazing.
Before we
Yes.
get into the trailers, can we briefly talk about that amazing Doritos ad and Mountain Dew ad that
Oh,
came out?
with Tyrion Lannister, Peter
Yeah.
Dinklage,
And
Peter
Morgan
Dinklage
Freeman.
and
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that was
that
amazing.
was sick.
That is a coupling that I want to see.
I want them
all
to do
the
a.
time.
I want them to do a buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
Totally.
I want them-
That's exactly what that ad made me think. I was like, they need to do a buddy cop movie. This is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. But we watched a couple of trailers, so we really got into the Marvel universe. We watched.
There's 3 movies.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay. There's 4 Marvel movies coming out this year that I'm aware of. You've got
Most recently is Black Panther.
well,
So
soon,
excited.
most soon.
Most
Is-
true.
Yeah, there's Black Panther, which
Yeah.
looks awesome. Then we've got the Avengers: Infinity War coming out.
Yep.
We've
which
got
comes in about June, July, doesn't it?
that is May.
Oh, really?
I think also in May
Yep.
is Deadpool 2.
Oh, I can't wait.
Really?
I
Yeah.
love Deadpool.
I've seen nothing about Deadpool 2. Deadpool
Except the
2,
Bob- except the Bob
that
Ross
one
trailer.
teaser. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Bob Ross trailer.
And then finally we have Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out this year.
Yeah.
In like September, October-ish, right?
No, I don't think it's quite that late. I think it's July. July 6th, I want to
What?
say.
Then what's happening?
So
with
what are they
Denmark?
doing in the later half of the year?
I don't think they've got anything,
Oh,
as far as I'm aware.
They've got to have something.
They've
coming
got to have
out
something
near
early
Christmas.
2019.
Probably,
Like
yes.
January. They've got
I should know these releases off the top of my head.
You should.
I'm sorry, I'm a letdown.
Out of those ones that we mentioned, ignoring the Deadpool one because we couldn't find it, we didn't even really look it up.
No.
No, but I'm so
What
excited
was your
for that.
favourite trailer?
Look, Black Panther's pretty cool. I can't. Okay. Infinity Wars is going to be epic and awesome. It's got so many of my favorite characters. The fact that Guardians of the Galaxy and the normal Marvel main Avengers characters are going to be meeting up, it's awesome. The fact that Thanos is actually finally a character that he's got more than just a end scene is going to be awesome. In saying all that, Black Panther looks sick. It's kind of like, I don't know, just the whole. To me, it's almost like if Batman and Iron Man kind of were together, where they're both rich, but one fights with like weapons, one does the whole martial combat thing.
But to
Definitely.
me, Black Panther was the least exciting trailer. The
Really?
trailer itself, right? I do
Okay.
like the character.
Okay.
I love the character. I think it's going to be an awesome movie.
Yeah.
The trailer itself left me going, well, we've seen a lot of this trailer before. It's much of the same.
Yeah, okay. I see
You
what you're
know,
saying.
We didn't see anything about some of the other characters that are around. Like we saw a lot about Black Panther and his kingdom and all that. We didn't see a whole lot about. I want to know about Martin Freeman's character.
True.
I want to know about.
I didn't even know
what's
he
his
was in
name?
the movie.
What's his name? Because remember, there's the joke going
Andy
around
Siegel?
that Anti
Andy
Circus.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman are the two white characters in the film.
No, I
That's
heard
the
nothing
joke.
about
That's the
this.
joke that's going around,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's the joke that they're the Tolkien white characters because they're both from Lord of the Rings and Hobbit.
Oh god, that is so good.
They're the Tolkien.
Yes.
Yeah. But to me, the Avengers trailer looks amazing.
It does.
The
it
one we
really
got from
does.
Super Bowl was quite short, and
Yeah.
it still showed some new stuff. It showed Nebula. It showed a few other characters.
Yes, the fact that Nebula's in it surprised me.
But that longer trailer that we got earlier this year, like 2 months ago, I want to say, that really gets it going for me. It looks amazing. And actually, in the new trailer, there's that one shot where Doctor Strange is doing his magic,
And Iron Man
and
comes
then
through.
Iron Man just comes through it, and
I
it's
like
like, oh.
That was my favourite scene from that 30-second or whatever trailer.
And Spider-Man looks like he's going to be involved in a big way.
He is. It looks like Spider-Man's in space at some point.
I don't know if he's in space.
I don't know.
I think
or
it's just very
out of
high
atmosphere.
up.
Yeah, fair enough.
He is from New York.
And he's getting a new. He's getting his spider suit.
Yeah.
If you remember at the end of Homecoming, we saw what might be the MCU's version of the Iron Spider suit.
That's cool.
For those of you who know the comics, Spider-Man did get I think it was red and gold suit that resembles Iron Man's in a way, but it also had 3 legs. It was known as the Iron Spider.
Cool.
But yeah, also Ant-Man and the Wasp to me looks great.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp was my favourite trailer personally.
Yeah. Why is that?
I loved the whole scenes with the building becoming like this little suitcase that he travelled around. I thought that was great. I liked
pigeon on it.
the Pez dispenser. I just
Yeah,
liked
that's
the
they're really taking that concept.
Yeah.
And like in the first Ant-Man, in the Ant-Man film, we saw a lot of that sort of making things bigger, making things smaller, right?
Yeah.
They've seemed to turn that dial up to, 27 out of 10 for this film. Yeah, at least in the trailer, it looks like everything's getting big and small.
Yeah.
They've got the Wasp in there, who is, Wasp is in the comics one of the original Avengers.
Yes.
Right? She helps to form the Avengers. So it's really nice to see her get in there, if not a little bit late after Infinity War. That being said, there are some rumors going around that Ant-Man and the Wasp won't be directly involved in Infinity War. We didn't see them in any of the trailers for Infinity War.
Yep.
They didn't show up, right? And Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out after Infinity War. So there are some rumors going around, and I really like this rumor, that Ant-Man and the Wasp will be doing things in the background of Infinity War.
Okay.
And then
they'll appear in the second
and then
half
the
of-
Ant-Man and the Wasp film will be
Filling in the gaps.
Okay.
and showing how they're influencing the
Yeah, that's
kids.
cool. Because look,
Do you think they'll pop up in part 2 of the Infinity War?
Definitely, I think they will.
okay.
And of course, there's always the rumor that in Infinity War, all of our favorite characters will die. Which,
Harry Potter Part 7.
Yeah.
So Harry Potter 7 Part 2 all over again.
but even more. Like,
Yeah.
there's the rumor saying that literally all of the Avengers will die, right? Which also gives room option, the option for Ant-Man and the Wasp to maybe bring about them coming back somehow. It's a rumor that's been going around since the Infinity Stones started showing up.
Yep.
All right.
Well, that reminds me, actually, before we get off the topic, we finally see the Vision in human form. That was
We
really cool.
We saw him in the old trailer as well.
Or in the trailer, but do you know what I mean?
In the
Like
new trailer,
yeah.
we did. It looks really interesting. I'm
It
not sure
definitely does.
how they're going to explain that.
I don't know.
Is it just going to be, a suit he puts on one day, or is it,
think
what's
it's
going
Or
on?
is it just maybe an upgrade or something? You can just
Maybe.
change the appearance or something.
Or maybe,
Because
obviously,
what's the stone he's got?
He's got
the Mind Stone.
the Mind Stone, which is
Okay.
the yellow one. And we've seen
Yes.
that Thanos has in his Infinity Gauntlet. He's got two stones.
Yes, he's got
the purple,
the
which
purple
is
one, which is the
time?
Power Stone.
no power.
Yeah, it's
What's-
from
Yes,
Guardians of the
Guardians.
Galaxy.
That's right.
And the blue one, which is the Space Stone.
Which
Okay.
It seems like there is that scene from the trailer where Loki gives him the Tesseract, which is the Space
Yes.
Stone. At least it's cut to look like he gives Thanos the Space Stone. We're not
Yeah.
sure. I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like Loki might be someone who sides with Thanos and then switches for.
Well, we do have that
He's
scene
the-
where it looks
yeah.
like that Hell is the one that's killing Vision.
True.
If you look at that scene where Vision's on the ground and the staff goes into the stone, it looks like Hell's staff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
My eyes could be tricking me, but that's what it looks like to me. And we do know that Hell, at least in the comic books, sides with Thanos. Hela.
Well, in the comic books, it's a bit more complex than that. In the comics books, Thanos is in love with Death,
Yes.
which isn't the same character as Hela in the
No,
comics. But it's believed by several people online
Yeah.
that Hela didn't die at the end of Ragnarok,
Yeah.
and Hela is going to fill in that role.
Okay.
Well, it kind of makes sense. It ties
It's kind of where
up to
Deadpool
the
comes
sense,
from as well. Deadpool has sort of this thing with death,
Yeah.
where which Thanos gets really jealous. Anyway, I'm not going to go into a massive amount of comic book lore right now.
But just Loki, if you're ever curious about what the definition of chaotic neutral is, he is the perfect embodiment of that.
Yeah.
I was just, every time I see him, I'm like, that's exactly what that is.
So it looks like we're getting close to closing time here at the
Yeah.
Jackal. But is there anything else we wanted to mention real quick?
Not what I can think of. I think we've covered
Yeah.
pretty much, at least everything that I've been doing lately, other than not having a life.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much everything covered. If there's anything else you guys wanted to talk about or comment on stuff that we were talking about, feel free to chuck it below. Anything
And
else?
please leave us comments, because
Yeah.
comments and feedback really helps us to decide what content we do and
Yeah.
do not produce.
I imagine there is a number of things that are exciting that are coming up or just came out that we missed because we are silly.
And also, this will probably come out a little bit after we've finished filming. A little
Exactly.
bit of editing and stuff. So
So let us know if there's anything we missed that we should definitely get on.
Yeah. And it could probably feature in next Jackal Talk.
Yeah. Other than that,
All right.
Cool, that's us.
Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Yep, please like and subscribe also. Don't forget to do that.
see ya.
See yous.